pursuit. Authorities confirm it ended in Horace this morning around 6 o'clock when the driver crashed into a ditch.
No one was hurt. Police say there's no threat to the public at this time. There's no word on why police were trying to pull that driver over just yet. Also breaking this morning, a house fire in North Moorhead that broke out just before 1 a.m.
And that's where we find the Valley Today's Nishay Taylor joining us live from the scene with the very latest. Good morning, Nishay.
Good morning. That's right. I'm here on First Street North near 64th Avenue in front of this home where the fire happened. You can see the home right behind me. Fire happened in the basement of the home. Firefighters told me when I arrived on scene that they were able to quickly put out those flames. Now, the original call came in at 12:45 this morning, and firefighters had been on the scene for over 3 hours just putting out the fire as well as looking into what may have happened here. Now, I have been told that the state fire marshal has been called to do further investigation into the cause of the fire. Now, the man that was in the home at the time is being displaced for the day. Reporting live in Moorhead, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Luckily, he made it out okay. Thank you so much for the updates this morning on this ongoing investigation. Again, Nishay Taylor.
It is now 6:51. Let's get a check of your forecast. It's a first alert weather day out there. On top of all this, still dealing with that smog, Lisa.
Yeah, it's been a problem for the last couple of days. It's just continued to build and build as we haven't had any movement to the air to clear out that trapped particle matter, that fine particulate matter that has been creating this smog. And so we're still dealing with an air quality alert that's in effect. Now, this is issued in Minnesota. We don't have any agencies that do that in North Dakota, but that doesn't mean we don't have air quality issues in the eastern part of the state as well. But this alert in effect until 6 o'clock this evening. So that gives you an idea of how long we may be dealing with air quality that's unhealthy before we make that transition into some cleaner air. Here's a look at the latest report in Fargo. 120 is where we're at. That puts us right in the middle of the orange category, which is better than the last couple of days. We've been more into the red, but we're still experiencing unhealthy conditions for some folks. Those sensitive groups may want to limit your activity outdoors here this morning and into the afternoon today before things improve. We've got some snow showers out there too that could impact your morning drive. Northeastern North Dakota, including around Grand Forks, and then back over into places like Fosston, Mahnomen, Detroit Lakes, and back into Bemidji and Bagley. Those are areas getting some light snow as we speak, and it has been coating the ground and the roads as well. Very light stuff, but still maybe another inch in some areas that we'll experience with this round. That could lead to more travel trouble for those folks driving in those areas. And then the other part of this system, farther south and east of us now, that continues to move on. If you're in the southeastern part of North Dakota, should be a quieter stretch here for you, other than the wind changing direction and experiencing that cooler air moving in. Right now it's 22 degrees, cloudy, foggy in Fargo. Grand Forks at 17, Thief River at 25. We've got that snow being reported in Devil's Lake at 16 degrees, where the cooler air has already started moving in. Bemidji, Detroit Lakes at 27. Look at our bus stop planner here. Not much change between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. In fact, temperatures look to be pretty similar. The fog will have cleared though by this afternoon, and we'll have some cleaner air as well developing or already having moved in at that point in time. Let's take a look at that 7-day planner. Again, we're looking at some changes for Thursday, Friday. Cleaner air. The fog won't be what we've been dealing with lately. In fact, it should be on the clearer side, and temperatures that are slightly cooler but warming up just in time for the holiday weekend and heading into MLK Day on Monday. That'll be our next chance for some snow coming up next week.
A lot to watch out for this morning. Lisa, thank you. We have major breaking news just into our newsroom minutes ago. The FAA is now grounding all flights in the country until 8 o'clock this morning. The organization says it's because of a computer problem halting their operations.
Again, a glitch in an operating system has now grounded all flights in the country until 8 this morning or 9 o'clock Eastern. Major news again from the FAA. Also breaking news out of Paris, France, where several people are hurt, at least one critically after an attack at a train station this morning. Officials say the suspect is also fighting for his life now after being shot several times by police.
A man reportedly injured several people with a knife at the Gare du Nord, which is one of the busiest train stations in Europe and a major link between Paris, London, and the north of Europe. The motive is still not yet clear. In West Fargo, an act of arson. Neighbors are on edge after a house fire near West Fargo High School.
Investigators are considering a fire near the 17th Street East near West Fargo High School as suspicious. 3 adults were taken out of a home in the 500 block of 17th Street East yesterday. One was pulled unconscious from the basement. There's no word on his condition. The whole thing is people living nearby concerned, though, about what exactly happened.
Was the person out to do harm for other people? That to me scares me.
Fire officials say the 3 people who were inside at the time are getting help from the Salvation Army and the Red Cross while they figure out a new place to stay.
A Red Lake, Minnesota man is now going to prison for 37 years for killing Red Lake tribal officer Ryan Bielke. David O'Donnell Jr., you see him there on your screen, opened fire on officers during a welfare check on him back in July 2021.
Police say because there was an active warrant for Donnell and because he was not complying with officers' orders, they breached the front door of the home. That's when Donnell opened fire and hit Bielke, who fired at least 22 rounds from his rifle. New details are now emerging about charges against a West Fargo home daycare owner accused of sending kids home with bruises and unexplained cuts after being in her care. 42-year-old Miranda Sorley is facing 9 counts of child abuse and neglect involving 4 children. Parents initially came to Valley News Live believing that Sorley was selling other moms breast milk, but authorities say that wasn't the case. Youngren says, the assistant state's attorney says, it's unclear if there are more victims. We have reached out to Sorley for comment, but she has not yet responded.
Family, friends, and co-workers are saying their goodbyes this week to Norman County Sheriff Jeremy Thornton, who passed away last week after a short battle with pancreatic cancer. Hundreds of people packed a visitation and prayer service yesterday in Ada. Many Norman County deputies say Thornton's leadership and trust made him a role model who will leave a lasting legacy. His funeral is today at 3 p.m. at the Ada Public School. We're learning more about a man who was found dead in Grand Forks over the weekend. This is William McGee. He was found on a private property near Red River High School. His daughter says McGee was the father of 2 and grandfather of 8.
She says he recently battled throat cancer and says it's possible he couldn't yell for help. Officials are still investigating the exact cause of his death. Anyone with information about it is urged to contact the Grand Forks Police. It's a bold theft that not only disrupts one family's sense of security, but it's also affecting a teenager's after-school job to help out his neighbors. Someone stole their snowblower. Now they have filed a police report and are checking with pawn shops in case it shows up there.
If something like this happens to you, it will help if you have the serial numbers. Pawn shops say that's imperative to help catch someone selling stolen goods, because without that information, it's hard to prove that the item is actually yours. Many parts of Minnesota are suffering now with stagnant air. We've been learning about it all morning with meteorologist Lisa Green. This is leading to the extension of an air quality alert through 6 tonight. The State Pollution Control Agency says this is the worst they've seen since 2005. Here's a look at what's happening there on your screen. Stagnant air and moisture from melting snow is now trapping pollutants near the ground, creating unhealthy air.
Yeah, you see all the colors on the map there? We know it's not good. Those colors mean unhealthy air. You can see there's a good amount of red in the Twin Cities area. Also that strip near the Red River Valley, again, as Lisa mentioned, Polk County down through Clay County and into Wilkin counties. All of that yellow means the air is moderate. Minnesotans have one more chance to grab free at-home COVID tests. The state health department is offering 4 tests now per household.
Click on their website to place your own order. After this round of freebies, the big announcement is that the state is ending the program, which has delivered more than 2.5 million tests since last April.
Yeah, a lot of folks still needing those tests, so especially if they have kids, want to send them to school safely, so make sure you get in on the free test. The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on.
That's right. We've got more live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up right now on the Fargo CW. In the meantime, check on your folks if they had any plans to travel by air today. That major announcement from the FAA. We're going to be following that story throughout this day. We can be sure of that. Be sure to check back right here at Valley News Live for more updates. In the meantime, take care.